Southern California, everybody has a pool.
Yep.
A pond is very unique. And so they are literally speechless. They walk back here and they're like, I feel like I'm on a vacation. Yeah. This is amazing. And they walk around and explore and they see the urn and then they see the waterfall. And they're just, people are completely speechless.
We're having that side conversation about, you know, the budget this, the budget that. He slides up across the table and she's like, yep, let's do it. I'm like, oh. But I put in new grass because I know it's your favorite crop.
Welcome to living the Aquascape lifestyle. The pod guy, Andrew, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
Got your San Diego outfit.
That's right, got to represent. They're going right now.
So I got to ask you a question. You got to solve an argument here. Did you find Aquascape and Brian brought in Jaak, or did you find Atlantis and Jaak brought in Aquascape?
Brian, and then he brought in Jaak.
There you go, Jaak. So you were number 2, Jaak.
I actually didn't want Jaak. No, I'm just kidding.
I have some great news. I am back in sunny San Diego.
The ones that I saw that got my attention.
Yes.
Jaak, Brian,
yep.
Adams.
Yeah, John Adams.
Yeah,
yep.
But I figured, you know what? I'm just going to go right to the top.
And brought Brian in.
I got Brian.
There you have it. Let's go check this water feature out. So this is my first time seeing this after seeing Brian and Jaak create a true masterpiece. How many houses do you have? But you bought this property knowing what you wanted to do with it.
Pretty much.
And the first attempt didn't turn out the way you wanted.
Not so much.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. This is beautiful. I love how everything is incorporated. So whose idea was this?
Honestly, this one was her idea.
Yes.
Your oldest daughter.
My oldest daughter, Melody, who's older than me. So first of all, I've always had ponds. And you always tell a story about big, bigger, biggest, pond people, all that stuff. My brother and I built ponds when we were kids, plastic liners, trash can bags, whatever it took, right? Yeah. And then when we moved into our first place, it was a little townhouse, didn't have much of a backyard, so I made a little bubbler fountain.
Yeah.
Right, we moved here, and like you said, right, I'm like, okay, well now I can do something, right? I've got a slope, I can do waterfall. So we actually contracted a pool guy, and he built basically a pool, a little pool over there where that deck is.
Concrete.
Out of concrete. Took them forever, and you know, ultimately failed, right? It had a bead filter, it was impossible to keep clean.
Artificial.
It was, you know, it would crack, it was a pain. And so we had the conversation. What do you want to do? My thoughts, because after looking at Brian's videos, Jack's videos, Ralph's videos, I want to do a pondless waterfall. Something, a big waterfall comes down and just disappears, low maintenance. And she's like, you know what? I want fish.
Ah, I like it. Yes. I'm not the pondless waterfall guy. I'm the pond guy.
Pond guy,
yes.
Right. Just going to do a pondless waterfall, and I was showing her some videos of some ideas of Jack's work, of your work, and she said, no, I want a koi pond. So I threw it out, and you know, we had grass here at the time, and she's like, well, wait, I can't see it from the kitchen. So I made it a little bigger. Well, but wait, you know, her office is the dining room.
I get it. It was his idea, but it was your plan.
She got bigger.
You
so
might be the head, but this is the neck.
Right. So I can't see it from where I sit in the dining room. So then it got bigger.
Yep.
And that's when I started getting serious about who am I going to talk to. Right. And I figured, you know what, if I want an aquascape, I want the best. I want the guy that the designs that talk to me, right?
Sure.
So I called your office, and I wanted to talk to Brian. And he recruited Jaak, which, you know, I saw his stuff. He did great stuff too.
Yes.
And he brought out Ralph from Arizona, and Chris.
Incredible collaboration.
Yeah.
Because here you have 3 different kinds of thinking, right? 3 different kinds of thinking, looking at all of their past projects, looking at your projects, and like, wow, how do we make it ours?
But you know, as far as the collaboration, what she was talking about is, so you remember I contacted Brian. Brian's definitely an artist.
Big waterfall there. We have a 28-foot pond, goes into an intake bay, and then a wetland filter over in there. So a couple bells and whistles. We've got some step stones over here, a bridge over there, wetland filter, intake bay, and a really large pond. This backyard is gonna be epic.
Jaak is more, he's the kind of control mechanical kind of guy. So those two worked out really well because Brian was doing the artistry and Jaak was the how things are come together. They came out for the consultation
Oh, they were together.
They came
Yeah.
out together
Okay.
with a consultation.
I gotta watch my vlogs. I remember that now.
The design that he came up with originally, Brian, he talks about it, how it's difficult to do design when you're not on site, is that he put the patio over there where Kurt is standing. The problem with that, even though it's a beautiful design, this time of day, you're looking right at the sun.
Yep.
And we have a coastal breeze comes in and it's gonna blast you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we had kind of stood out here and painted circles in the ground, we thought center patio, and her famous words, I want to be surrounded by water.
Yes.
You created that.
We talked with Brian about that, and he started painting, and the bog and the waterfall. And
It was like, what is your ultimate, like, go for the stars? What do you
and
want?
that's what we did,
You know?
right? And he writes it up, presents the go for the stars. We're having that side conversation about, the budget this, the budget that. He slides up across the table, and she's like, yep, let's do it. I'm like, oh.
The negotiator. I even like you even more.
I'm like, with adding Ralph to the team, he was able to bring his tool because he drove out from
over
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
And so he became like the mechanic behind the scenes, right? So he had all the tools. He was driving the Bobcat,
Go back and
shuffling
forth.
back and forth. You see that in his vlog and Jack's vlog and Brian's vlog, and Jack running the machine, and Brian strategically placing, and then every now in Chris, nobody works harder than Chris.
Yeah.
I could not believe that guy just wouldn't stop.
Yep.
H1 came
Yep,
out,
yep.
and it's the same
Udi.
thing. And they went all day, and every evening, I'm like, hey, you guys want to go, downtown and get some dinner? And they're like, oh my gosh, we're beat. We just gotta go back.
Yeah.
So they had a great time here.
Yeah.
8 days.
Yeah, 8 days to create paradise.
8 days.
60 tons of boulders.
Yeah.
Another 25 tons of rock and gravel. 8 days.
What was the total investment for the project?
The total investment was right around $100,000.
So $100,000 to have a Corvette ZR1 in your backyard. And this is a Corvette
But to
ZR1.
have a permanent vacation.
And,
Absolutely.
just like what you talk about is we had all this grass.
Yep.
And the idea was when Spencer was growing up, place to play with the boys in the neighborhood. They played across the street,
Yeah.
right? So we had this yard, didn't get used. Now he's grown up and he's an adult. Like, well, let's do what we want.
Now you're having your play area.
Right.
So I gotta ask this,
Yes.
because you were just talking about all these massive boulders coming in. What did the neighbors think and say when you started doing this?
The neighbors were pretty much speechless because in the area we live in, when you think of a pond, you think of something like this.
Yes.
Like a pond, right? In Southern California, everybody has a pool.
Yep.
A pond is very unique. And so they are literally speechless. They walk back here and they're like, I feel like I'm on a vacation.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And they walk around and explore, and they see the urn, and then they see the waterfall, and people are completely speechless.
Especially this size. When they dropped those boulders, I mean, it was loud, right?
It's loud.
So they knew there was a
Wasn't it
lot of material coming back here, but there was no vision. They didn't see it. We didn't have people coming. Dave across the street, the guy you talked to today, he was here. But then when it was done, people were coming back. It was a lot of, your question usually is, what do they say, right? There was a lot of silence, speechless. Like, what can you say? There's obviously wows, right? But a lot of just, this is not what I was expecting.
Which is exactly why I do all of the vlogs.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that this has really changed how you use the space in your yard.
We live out here.
We were never out here.
We were never out here, and we're out here all the time.
Well, how can you beat it? We're in San Diego with the great weather. You've got vacation at home. We just went through COVID. You got it at the right time.
Yeah.
let me say, it's a complete honor to come out here and hang out with some cool people, get food, and they really got to know our crews when they were out here. Second, what I want to say is we don't do this. Aquascape does not travel. We have certified Aquascape contractors like Jack all over the country that normally do these jobs. This was a case of the sun, the stars, and the moon lining up for us to be able to get out here in December and build this over an 8-day period. But if you are interested in living the Aquascape lifestyle, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, we're gonna put a link below to find a certified Aquascape contractor like we always do in all of our vlogs. But what I love about this is the neighbors over here don't have one. The neighbors over there don't have one, but there are swimming pools in this neighborhood. If you're someone that wants something different, something that you can enjoy 365 days of the year, then an Aquascape water feature is exactly what you want to do, because it's not like what everybody else has. It's something unique, it's something different. This is what I love about my job, is every water feature is a unique work of art, one-of-a-kind custom creation. And for me to come out here after seeing all of the vlogs and the team Aquascape, all of the things that they had done, and seeing it for the first time in person myself, it's even more nice when you get to see it in person. I also have a coffee table book, and this project is going to be one of the ones that we feature in there. So if you're interested in a perfect Christmas gift for somebody that loves water features, please check out the link below to get one of our Aquascape Hands of an Artist coffee table book, because this is true art. And finally, we need more people living the Aquascape lifestyle. We need more certified Aquascape contractors. We need more people that are in this industry, more people that are supporting this industry, because it changes lives. These people that live in this house, they knew what they wanted. They didn't get it going with a traditional concrete water feature, but they got it getting a certified Aquascape contractor that specializes in this type of work, and it changed the way they use the environment. This is what makes my job so fun, visiting our ponds, visiting our customers, and seeing how they're living the Aquascape lifestyle. If you want to live the Aquascape lifestyle too, check out the link below to find a certified Aquascape contractor by you. I love my job.